Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of FitzRupee Cast, featuring DoW2 Retribution. Red-Rupee here with you, calling the shots for you as always. And we are on Elite Mod today. We've got a one-on-one here on Calderis Refinery. Before I get started, a couple things been happening in Elite Mod. The Valhalla campaign has completed. The Disorder side controls the sector once again. They've won both of the little campaigns we've been doing here, and I think the next one's going to be a bit different. I saw something posted on DoW2 Elite. I'm going to ask Eye of Horus about it. Once I get some more information, I'll get back to you guys and let you know what's going on with that. They feel the last two campaigns have been kind of identical, so they want to switch it up and see what they can get going in the ways of kind of a short-term league going on here. Anyways, in addition to that, there's a new Tyrannid unit that's been announced. It's apparently sort of a Zoanthrope-style hero unit called the Doom of Malantai, which I guess is awfully frightening, or maybe just a bit melodramatic. I'm not sure which, but as I get more information on that, I will be sure to update you guys as well. And of course, that information is up on DoW2 Elite, I'm pretty sure, at least in the Steam group as an announcement, so check up on that. There's a little more information there that explains some of his possible abilities and that sort of thing. So Kael'to's still working on that, and I'm sure we'll have an update on when the patch including that particular unit will be coming out here shortly. Anyways, let's take a look at our players and get this game rolling. On the blue side, we've got Mr. VodooShaman as the Space Marine Apothecary, and a lot of people were kind of upset that he got a bit over-nerfed in retail, but a couple changes have been implemented, and we've been seeing him a lot more in the Elite mod again. And then we've got Stoned Elfboy on the red team as the diminutive but powerful Lord Commissar. And there he goes, stabbing his sword into the ground, popping his shield on triumphantly as he captures that natural wreck point. That was pretty funny. Anyways, a little banter back and forth between these guys. Apparently this is a set of a few games going on here now. Imperial Guard versus Space Marine. This Sentinel is going to be a big deal. The Sentinel against Space Marines, since you only really have early on one major damage dealing unit, you have your tacs to put out damage if you're going for a tac build. And of course your hero, but the Apothecary is so much more support that so long as he gets good stomps on the tactical marines in these early engagements, he'll really be able to control the field. Of course, with the Apothecary's heal, he's going to be able to kind of mitigate a lot of that damage that gets taken during the stun of that stomp. We'll have to see how that plays out. Also, Calderis Refinery, as we can see, a bigger map, so the Sentinel wasn't able to get over here and stop like any of the first initial caps, but it's still quick enough to get over here and start harassing these scouts as the tacs and second squad move in to intercept. It's already taken quite a beating, plenty quick enough to fall back, however, from all that supporting fire. And the Lone Guardsman squad should be able to repair that Sentinel up to full health and get it back out on the battlefield. However, VodooShaman's going to be in a prime position to do some damage to the power farm if he continues with this push and gets that Sentinel out of there. However, that Lone Guardsman squad is going to get pushed back. Second squad's here and is going to start repairing the Sentinel, however. It's not going to be able to stay out there long. Guardsmen can out-repair, I think, a couple of tacs. It can't out-repair 3 tacs, let alone with scouts. Once you drop one of these 3 members, though, they can actually out-repair the damage that 2 tacs do, I believe. I'm not sure if that's with or without Kraken Bolts. It's all a little dodgy. Of course, there goes VodooShaman, changing targets, trying to get the Guardsman away from the Sentinel. All he has to do is push off those Guardsmen, and then the Sentinel has no choice but to fall back, but the interfering Lord Commissar gets in there and forces the retreat. In the meantime, the Apothecary kind of running around on his own, a little bit uncommon. Normally you see that initial push aided by the Apothecary. He would have been able to get in there, tangle with the Lord Commissar, I feel like, and get a heal up. I feel like he should be using the second scout squad as maybe more of a capping unit, and then keeping the Apothecary with those tacs, because that's a lot more important. Devastator's on the field already as well. They're going to be able to catch this Commissar a little too far forward and knock his shield right out and force him off here momentarily. There he goes. Falls back. And it looks like overall right now, Stoned Elfboy's kind of taken those first couple quick engagements. He's got a heavy weapons team on the field as well. A full power farm is in addition to that. So VodooShaman with a little less map, a little less tech, and already down a bit on the VPs as well. The Sentinel kind of marauding around the map, harassing wherever it can. Scouts and tacs moving in once again to harass it. VodooShaman kind of playing a bit, like I said, I feel like this Apothecary should really be kind of traveling with the main Space Marine force. Since he's such a supportive commander, you want him there to get the heals off, keep his army healed up, and kind of make these unstoppable Space Marine pushes that he's kind of infamous for once he gets rolling. Guardsmen get suppressed, have to fall back. They're pretty low HP already. No assault. Oh, as I just get ready to say that, assault squad coming onto the field. Kind of always see the assault squad with the Apothecary. Personally, I don't like assault squads too much against Imperial Guard. They're too expensive, and they don't really cause enough damage. They can jump into a Guardsman squad, maybe take out a couple models before they retreat, but if you lose even one of those assault Space Marines against the Commissar, Inquisitor, what have you, it's still going to be a win for the Imperial Guard. So I tend to like to stick to a pair of tacs, a Devastator, and then hold out in Tier 2 for a Plasma Dev or an Assault Cannon Dreadnought to really bring the hurt to these Imperial Guardsmen. But we'll see how the Assault Space Marines work out. Of course, with the Apothecary helping, it's certainly going to make a difference. Flamer's going down on VodooShaman's natural farm. It looks like he's going to lose the whole thing. Here comes an Assault Jump, just as I say that to prove me wrong. 2 generators did go down, however, though, I think, and that's going to leave Stoned Elf Boy ahead in power. However, VodooShaman has flamers of his own and going to make sure that he's not the only one losing out on a bit of economy here.
Adding power generator.
And he's really actually locked down pretty well there. Catachin Devils on the field. Both players going heavy Tier 1s. We can see already 5 squads on the field for both sides. Catachin's already getting upgraded with their Demo Man, so they're going to be putting around some booby traps and that sort of thing. And this is really the perfect time to do it. He's losing his power farm. He's got the Assault Space Marines over here. Once he pushes them back, he can really put some demolition, some IEDs in some nasty positions. And look at the Sentinel way up here. Elfboy doing a great job with this Sentinel, keeping those scouts locked away. He's lost his entire farm, however, though, so he is going to start falling back as far as tech goes. And it looks like this heavy weapon squad moved up a bit too far. He might actually lose it right here if these tacs get some good melee shots. Unfortunately, they were just out of range. All they needed was a couple swings on retreat, and that heavy weapons team would have been most certainly destroyed. Sentinel still down here, haranguing whatever steps out of VodooShaman's base. These Assault Space Marines going to get the VP cap. They really need to because he's down by almost 200 VPs already, but those Assaults are about to lose a member if they're not careful. That Sentinel hasn't even gotten the Stomp upgrade. He's been using it completely vanilla, not even needing the Stomp, doing a great job just with its ranged attack. And Apothecary once again kind of out here by himself. He's not going to be able to tangle with these Catachins. Realizing that, he pops the heal, but he's going to need to get out. That Sentinel very low. Apothecary is going to take a swing. Will he finish it off? Oh, just barely. A couple shots from his and the Assault Squad's bolters after that last swing of the chainsword finished off the Sentinel. Very unfortunate for Stoned Elfboy. I actually thought it was going to get away right there. That Catachin Devil, all reliable, was just a split second too late to save that vehicle. Luckily for Stoned Elfboy, he had spent nothing on upgrades for it, so really not too big of a loss. I mean, the Sentinel kind of tends to always go down pretty early, but it's always great if you can hold on to it till late game. Lord Commissar, quite outnumbered in the center. He's going to try to get the decap. I'm not sure if he's going to pull it off. Yeah, he decides against it. Stoned Elfboy pulls him back, but he's in a good spot right now. He's again got these flamers over here, and I don't see flamers on Guardsmen too much against Space Marine. A lot of people try to hold out for those plasma rifles. But really, when you can just commit one squad to running around the far side of the map, especially on this map called Daris, it really forces the Space Marine player to commit something over here and not use his force as a whole. And that's kind of the best thing you can do against Space Marine, is keep them separated and keep them from blobbing up, because especially with this Apothecary, it's really going to hurt. One Catachin Devil goes down, Apothecary gets a nice special attack, they have to fall back, taking tons of damage in the meantime. Perfect time to blow that IED. Oh my goodness, he misses it just as those half-health Assault Squads walk by it. He probably could have taken out a model or two right there. I doubt the whole squad because they weren't on top of it, but I'm sure he could have at least got something out of that IED. In the meantime, VodooShaman well ahead in Tier 2. He's going to be hitting it about halfway before Stoned Elfboy does. A mine drop going down right on top of that Devastator, and also in the kind of retreat path there of VodooShaman. So he's going to have to kind of walk right off of those mines to get out to this side of the field. And man, look at the Devastator just taking damage for sitting there too long. He could have moved actually and gotten out from under that, but chose not to. Node goes down on this side of the map. VodooShaman lost his gen farm once again. Stoned Elf Boy with 2 generators up right now. And both players kind of in the same boat going into Tier 2. VodooShaman going to be a bit behind simply because he doesn't currently have the same income. But I'm sure he'll be dropping some generators as soon as he gets the opportunity to. Doesn't want to lose these scouts to the guardsmen. It's just not going to be a good trade-off. But excellent. Stalled in that green cover just long enough to get the assault jump in.
Scouts ready.
And now at Tier 2 we can see the Assault Space Marines getting upgraded with their Sergeant, which of course gives them a nice power sword and gives them the Merciless Strike too, which really will up their damage output against these kind of blobby Imperial Guard squads. Any kind of AoE is great against Imperial Guard, of course. If you play Imperial Guard, you know that because you hate it so very much. But when you have 9 to 12 members in every squad, it really makes a huge difference. Heavy weapons team getting set up, but I'm not sure if he realizes it's facing the wrong direction. That's going to be a bit of a blunder right there. And going straight for Stormtroopers. Not worried about not having power in Tier 2. He's going to bring out Stormtroopers and equip them with whatever they need. If he spots an early vehicle, they're very versatile, of course. Can equip themselves with the Melta or the Assault Kit if they need to just pound away at those heavy armor units that VodooShaman has on the field right now. Nice shot! Knocking back that squad at the perfect moment. And taking it out. Another nice win there for VodooShaman. Commissar Lord's trying to tangle with these guys in melee, but it's way too much. Guardsmen with the help of a Stormtrooper squad pushing off those tactical Marines. VodooShaman losing his gens once again, unfortunately. Stone Elfboy's been doing a perfect combined job of really trying to hold on to his power as much as possible and do the maximum amount of damage, keeping VodooShaman completely requisition starved here. Assault Marines are moving in, but the damage is really already going to be done, especially if they get this second generator. And those assaults are going to walk right over top of this explosive. Oh, actually, they veered to the right, and that shot doesn't really do much of anything, unfortunately. They actually squeezed right through this little spot here and managed to evade most of that AoE damage. We can see Stormtroopers already upgraded with their Assault Kit and made short work of the capping Scout Squad here. There was also an explosive. You can see the crater right there next to that Scout who's face down right there. Now this Stormtrooper squad here is actually going to be pretty dangerous right now. It can cloak, and since it does have that grenade with the Assault Kit in the Elite mod, might be able to make short work of this Devastator Marine squad. However, combined with the Catachan Devils, it looks like they managed to do that anyways. And the Commissar Lord getting kitted up here pretty nicely with his Stubbornness upgrade, which will keep him healthy and increase his damage nearby his infantry. And of course, with that Power Fist, a lot of people tend to discount how much damage that Power Fist does. I don't know if it's because the Commissar Lord is kind of smaller than most heroes or what, but he actually attacks pretty quick with it. And of course, with any kind of damage buff he receives, he's going to be just wailing away with that heavy melee. We're going to see Catachan Devils getting their Sarge. I'm not sure why they're not engaging those tacs in melee. They'd be doing a lot more damage, taking some unnecessary AoE from those flamers. Of course, Catachans are fire resistant, but still unnecessary. Commissar Lord gets a nice kill on one of the tacs there, and VodooShaman saving up for something. Oh, maybe not. Buying those scouts right back that he lost. Realizing that he's a little bit behind on map control, so wanting to try to even that out a bit. Or maybe I misspoke actually. Looking at the colors, I get confused because the blue is on the left and the red player is on the left on this map, so I tend to look at that a little inverse there. Another IED going down on the victory point. Those things can be so devastating if you're not paying attention to them. There is a scout squad coming on with the Sarge. He had the Sarge on his first squad, but that's the one that went down to the IED, unfortunately. They may have actually just moved to capture and then shot it to death while they were standing over it. That tends to happen the explosive will still detonate if it is destroyed. So, got to be very cautious, even when you're running around with the detector squad, because they'll auto-fire on those explosives. Now with the Sarge, he's eliminating this minefield so he can move his Devastators around freely. That's really kind of the worst thing, is when your very slow setup team keeps getting dislodged while it's trying to get into position to fire. Scouts, once again, trying to get a cap, but these guardsmen are going to make short work of them if they're not paying attention. Interestingly enough, the guardsman's not been getting many upgrades. You can see the Flamer squad doesn't even have its sergeant right now. He kept that vanilla specifically just so he could go power bash. He may have lost a few members, and I feel like once you lose a few members at all on a guardsman squad, it's worth just upgrading to that sergeant to get the free extra reinforce. But Stone Elf Boy playing it very close to the belt, being very frugal with his guardsman upgrades. In the meantime, he's kind of hanging out, waiting to see what's coming onto the field. Stern Guards getting warped in on those tactical Marines, and with those with the correct ammo configuration, they'll be doing really terrible damage to these guardsmen. So Plasma Gun's getting upgraded. Stone to Elf Boy kind of just waiting to get into the right position here. One Stormtrooper squad upgraded with the Assault Kit, the second still unupgraded, maybe waiting to see if a vehicle comes onto the field. It's been Tier 2 for a while, and I'm sure he's recognized there aren't any vehicles on the field. But he should also know that he's been harassing the power enough that with these Stern Guards and the Assault Sergeant and the new Scouts on the field, there's really not too much power that VodooShaman should be sitting on. You always got to keep that in mind when you're wondering what quite to buy or what war gear to get when you're heading into Tier 2. Just kind of track. You should have a general idea of how much power your opponent has at any given point in the game if you've been harassing and that sort of thing. So kind of use that to figure out what he may have out here. Commissar getting very low right here, but of course Stubbornness is going to keep him up without too much trouble. Apothecary deciding to fall back right there. Those Assault Marines really need to focus on the Assault Kit Stormtroopers. Look at them pounding away at those Stern Guards. Stern Guards hit, a Space Marine shall know no fear. But it's a bit late as they've already lost 2 models. It's going to be an expensive reinforce. And Stone Elf Boy lost, let's see, very little, all things considered. He lost a lone Stormtrooper and a lone Guardsman. So, all things considered, he came ahead in that battle so long as he doesn't lose all of this power, which he may very well do right here. And a Chimera is coming out, so he's going very infantry heavy, obviously. I mean, look, he's got 2 Guardsmen, 2 Stormtroopers, and Catachan Devils. Not really bringing the typical Manticore or Chimera that we see so early in Tier 2. Finally bringing the transport out, but that's obviously just to kind of keep this force on the field. Once he has that reinforced, it's just going to be an insane amount of ranged firepower right here. Went ahead and upgraded the second squad now to the anti-armor kit, which I think will be a good choice. VodooShaman's got quite a bit of power. He's probably saving up for something here. I'd be willing to bet an Assault Cannon Dreadnought. With all this infantry, it's just the obvious choice. I mean, I feel like even a Plasma Devastator would be really effective as well, but we'll have to see how this plays out. So Commissar completely equipped with the Flak Jacket, Power Fist, and Stubbornness. The Flak Jacket, very useful against Space Marine, I feel. It strikes a unit for a high amount of damage, allows you to pretty much assassinate Space Marine units, and since they're so expensive, it makes a big difference in the long run. It also debuffs the squad for, I believe, half of their damage. So that Chimera's loaded up and just charging right into the middle of everything. Guardsmen and Catachans pop out and start hammering that Devastator Marine squad, which isn't in the right spot. Even with an Apothecary heal, it may go down. Oh my goodness, just barely stayed alive. Assault Marines taking all kinds of damage right here. That Power Fist whacking away at them steadily, and those Catachans and Meltas not being very nice either. VodooShaman's just going to have to get out of there. These Stern Guards need to retreat before they lose any more models. Assault Marines with 14 HP, narrowly escaping death. And an Assault Dreadnought is coming onto the field. VodooShaman not very happy with the outcome of that battle. What did so much damage to your Assault Space Marines? Well, that would be the entire Imperial Guard force. They were getting focused down pretty hard right there. Without the threat of that Devastator, the entire ranged army was able to open up and obliterate anything that we saw in that engagement. Imperial Guard bunker now getting airdropped in, and I'd be willing to bet we see that upgraded to a repair bunker right away to just keep this Chimera on the field. Even if those Assault Marines at this point jump in and drop a Melta on it, there will be enough repair to keep that thing healthy and keep the Guardsmen reinforcing consistently. So this Dreadnought's coming out. This could make a pretty huge difference. I'd assume that he's going to go for an Assault Cannon. It's really just so very effective against Imperial Guard. But a good Assault Cannon barrage on top of all this infantry could be extraordinarily costly for VodooShaman and really kind of even out the war of attrition that he's been winning so far. So VodooShaman kind of going all in with this Dreadnought. He's got so little requisition, just barely being able to reinforce his squads. Stormtrooper squad scares off the scouts. Stoned Elfboy, again, I've mentioned it once before, but he's been doing a great job of really harassing the outside sectors of this map, trying to keep the Space Marine on his toes. You can see as soon as these flamers, they've just been constantly capping these 2 rec points, capping the contested power, and then just moving right in on the natural farm of VodooShaman. So the Imperial Stronghold sitting right behind the center VP, got a couple IEDs up, got a bunker, got a reinforcement point right there. So we're going to see what's happening. Apothecary not geared out with too much, only with his improved medical equipment, which gives him a little more energy and regen. But kind of, I feel like the Apothecary is one of those heroes that you really want to gear up to make the most of him. Yeah, we see the Assault Cannon is on the Dreadnought now, so we're probably going to open this up with an Assault Cannon barrage. Stoned Elfboy already ready with Las Cannon on the field. All that Dreadnought needs to do, however, is move in and drop a barrage right on top of it. Oh, we can see a buff going down on that Las Cannon too. Look at the damage it's doing to that Dreadnought. Wow, 400 damage a shot is nothing to scoff at. That Devastator's just not quite up where it needs to be. Catechin's hanging in wait next to those assaults where they just jumped in on the suppression team. They need to engage it right now. Drop the explosive shot. And VodooShaman just kind of didn't push in with everything the way he needed to. One explosive goes off, almost takes out the Apothecary. He's very low. He needs to fall back or heal. If those Catechins spot him, he's in a lot of trouble. Taking tons of damage. He drops Angels of Death. Going to be able to take out one of these Stormtrooper squads. Still no Assault Cannon barrage going down, which is very surprising. But it looks like he is going to break this Imperial Guard stronghold. However, without the Apothecary up, he's got plenty of red. He should just use Lehrman's Blessing, pick up the Apothecary, and get a heal down on that assault squad. There goes the barrage. Oh, turning lots of guardsmen into bits. Assault Marines jump in. They do have their Meltas, but they don't have the energy to use it. They're just going to keep battling with these guardsmen. Actually, one of them even fell to the melee there. Actually, 2 of them did. Commissar Lord coming back out with a vengeance, and with the Space Marine army kind of broken and beaten, there's really not too much they're going to be able to do on their own. So, wow. I mean, I'm surprised that Elfboy managed to hold that right there. As I was mentioning, I'm surprised. Like, I feel like the Mastercrafted Bolter would be really excellent for kind of keeping this Commissar out of the fight. He's been doing so much damage and been very effective right here. Uh-oh! The Stormtroopers get spotted by the Dreadnought, but they do manage to get the grenade off on that Devastator squad, instantly killing a unit right there. Apothecary's going to heal him back up. Not too concerned with that. He's going to keep it on the field. Another mine drop going down, however, though, as that Valkyrie flies overhead. I feel like that Assault Cannon might be able to shoot that bad boy down, but no real anti-air in this game, unfortunately. Maybe you should be able to set up anti-air sights to keep assault squads from jumping in on you. Another heavy weapons team coming out. The first one got obliterated in that last engagement. It did go down as it tried to get out of that bunker, which was in a lot of trouble. Assault Cannon Dreadnought still pretty beat up. VodooShaman doesn't have any scouts left to repair. He really needs to get some out here soon. He just doesn't have anything at all to deal with this Chimera, and it's really hurting him. That's I feel like that's kind of a problem with upgrading to those Stern Guard veterans. Oh, it looks like the Devastator got upgraded to a las cannon. If a melta goes off on it right here, it's done for. It's getting repaired. I'm not sure if it's out of range, though. It just barely is, but no, it wasn't. I spoke too soon. It was right on the edge of the firing arc. But sometimes those setup teams go a little bit further than what is displayed on their arc. We've got a call-in coming right here. Assault Marines, pretty beat up. Oh, it's actually a drop pod. He's only in tier 2. What else would it have been? Stern Guards hop inside of that bunker and take it over. In the meantime, Assault Marines continuing to hack away at all of these Imperial Guardsmen right here. Oh man, that Melta's actually doing pretty heavy damage to that guard bunker. Those Stern Guard need to get out of there. They finally decide to fall back. Oh no, they're turning back around to engage. Oh, and they're setting a trap right at the door of the bunker. These Stern Guards need to escape right now. They're just standing inside of it. Oh, Angels of Death has been activated. He's going to wait for it to wear off, and as soon as it does, he's going to blow that mine. And these Stern Guards are going to be done for. He should have just pulled them out for the time being. Oh no, the Assault Space Marines right next to it. Down falls the bunker. And the Stern Guards are gone. That's such a huge loss. Assault Space Marines getting reinforced. Of course, this drop pod now stays on the field and constantly allows Space Marines to teleport in as a beacon. But the Commissar Lord is just doing so much damage. He's level 5 and that Power Fist is nasty. 2 points against 152. He just barely managed to stay in the game. Used Angels of Death to get the decap up here. Just barely prevents the cap and pokes the point to reset it. But he's going to have to fall back as the rest of the Imperial Guard's range force is coming out here. Oh man, VodooShaman, I'm not sure he's going to be able to hold on to it at this point. Ogrins are going to come out on the field and just wreck anything that's left. Those Assault Marines are level 4, but the Commissar is already enough to kind of deal with them on their own. I'm surprised we haven't seen... Oh no, the Apothecary may go down right here. One last swing of that Power Fist knocks him out a second time. Man, just look how fast he attacks with that. The Force Commander's Power Fist is nasty, but I'm pretty sure the Commissar Lord's attack speed is higher. And I believe the weapons have the same DPS, so just something to keep in mind when you see that Commissar running around with that heavy melee icon. There goes the GG, and that's going to be the game as soon as that VP gets capped. These Ogrins would have come out and smashed the remaining stragglers of VodooShaman's army anyways, and some excellent play from Stone to Elf Boy. I love seeing that bunker. I so rarely see bunkers used. They are kind of a death trap, but when used effectively, they really are, especially when you use one to obliterate it and take out a Stern Guard veteran squad. Definitely some nice play from Stone to Elf Boy. He did lose his Chimera at the end in that last engagement, but it was really just too late and too much damage done for VodooShaman to do anything about it. So there's the Commissar Lord standing triumphantly over his victorious battlefield right here. And I hope you guys enjoyed the game. This is Red-Rupee. I'll be catching you guys next time.